Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to Myth Busting Mondays. And today's episode, guys, I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. Where you're going to be seeing if whether or not it's possible to kill a zombie without looking at it. Is it possible if I look away from a zombie and I can't see it in my view, and my cursor is not pointing on top of the zombie, can I still kill them regardless? That's going to be the final myth. I hope you guys end up enjoying it. If you end up enjoying today's episode, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe to show your guys' support. And if you have a particular myth that you would like to see featured in next week's episode, just please put it in the comment section down below. But anyways, guys, as always, let's get on with this week's episode of Myth Busting Mondays. Myth: can you kill a Riot Gear zombie without hitting it in the back? Alright everybody, so here we are with myth number 1, and this is submitted in by Good Karma. So Good Karma, thank you for submitting a myth my way. I appreciate you, my G. Now guys, let's be honest, everybody hates the Riot Gear zombie. It's the most annoying, uncommon infected in the entire game, and we all want to be able to figure out how we can kill them more efficiently. So we're going to be testing a variety of different things. So I'm going to be trying a mixture of different guns, different tactics, and even some other miscellaneous items to see if we can kill them. So number 1, we're going to try explosives, because with the pipe bomb, the interesting thing is that the explosion spreads out everywhere. So by technicality, you are hitting them, but don't worry, I understand that one is pushing it, so I'm going to be trying other things other than just the pipe bomb, because that would seem kind of unfair and cheap. So far the pipe bomb works. Now we're going to be trying to punch the zombie to death, and this didn't really end up amounting to anything. All that just happened was just this funny animation where the zombie looks like he's repeatedly hugging Dan aggressively. But yeah, there's nothing that happens with the punches, it just causes this weird animation bug. Then next we ended up trying some of the different throwable items such as gasoline cans, and this does spread out everywhere kind of like the pipe bomb, but it does start off at the feet. So once again, it's another technicality thing. We even went as far as trying the grenade launcher and frag round shotguns and just guns in general, because these things are going to pack a massive punch when it hits the zombie just dead on. And these do work, but once again, it leads into that situation where it's a technicality thing, because we're not sure if we can guarantee if it's hitting him in the front, because these things are going to be spreading out all over the place with them being special types of ammo, so it could end up hitting the zombie in the back somehow, or in a part that is just exposed. The only thing that we were able to find from our testing that allows you to be able to kill the Riot Gear zombie from the front is going to end up being the chainsaw, because the armor is not thick enough to resist the chainsaw blade, and the chainsaw blade does work from all the different directions. So even though it might look like from the footage that we are hitting him from the side, I promise you we're not, because here's an example of the frying pan just shortly thereafter, and this doesn't budge until Glabersko uses the chainsaw. So if you want to end up counting the pipe bombs, the grenade launcher, frag round items inside of your gun, those all technically work too, but the one that was definitive where our cursor was just staring at the front of the zombie and actually going through his armor was the chainsaw. But it is still one thing, and it is not nothing. So this myth is confirmed, but it's by like a thin margin. So if you really want to do this reliably, just get a chainsaw if you can find one. Myth: can the tank blow up the No Mercy gas station with his fists? Alrighty guys, so here we go with myth number 2. Now for myth number 2, this is submitted by Electro P, but the thing is that this myth, man, is that immediately it's not looking good, because the tank is punching the crap out of the gas station here, and it's amounting to nothing. The tank is just not getting anywhere. The gas station is completely unfazed, which is weird for me to see this, because the gas station, if you sneeze wrong, it blows up. And I know this because whenever Dan gets into our play sessions here, he sneezes and it's so hard that it actually sets off the Richter scale. You have no idea truly how powerful his sneezes are. So not even the tank, the big hulking behemoth of this game, is not even able to blow up the gas station, which is just surprising to see. But sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some, but this is a very odd matchup to see where the tank loses. So that means that I do have to label this myth as busted. If the tank punches the gas station, nothing happens, but like I said, God forbid that Dan sneezes and it acts like the world is ending. Myth: can you take items with you when the rescue vehicle takes off? Alright guys, so for this next myth, for myth number 3, this is going to be one of the few that were submitted in by Shock. Now, for this myth, guys, minus the horribly laggy gameplay that we ended up getting because we were trying to test with way too many items, I kind of want to describe really quickly what our approach was for this particular myth. So for this myth, we're going to be spawning in a whole bunch of different items like Nonchansky, gas cans, propane tanks, Whittaker's Cola, and all that stuff. and we're just going to activate the cutscene as seeing if whether or not the rescue vehicle will take the items, or if an invisible barrier is going to kick in and make it so that way it can't come with us. Now you think for this one, this would be either obviously confirmed or busted, be a straightforward yes or no question, but each one gave us different results surprisingly. For example, the Parish helicopter managed to take the items with us, although it kept warping in and out of the actual helicopter itself, so in the literal sense, it didn't necessarily go with us, but it did end up following us at the very least. And then with Jimmy Gibbs' stock car, we put some stuff on the front of the hood, like the gnome, and the gnome was riding on the front, but then when we made a hard turn, it did fall off. So without making the sharp turn, it could have actually managed to get into the cutscene, which would have been really unique and interesting to see. Then we move on to the helicopters. These are the ones that are on Dark Carnival, No Mercy, and also Coldstream. And these ones, this one was a little bit difficult to do because with the angle of the helicopter, you really can't see what's inside it, plus also the door closes. Certain vehicles were easier to understand than others, but this one I genuinely couldn't tell. Then we have the Crash Course truck. Now, don't mind the laggy gameplay, this is just because we spawned in way too many items, so this result is going to take us definitely a minute. But the Crash Course truck, my friends did say indeed that there was the gas cans and all that stuff following us. It's just that it was very hard to see, but I see no angle, so if you guys want to review the footage, because the laggy gameplay kind of helped it be in slow motion, so there's more ways that you can look for the items in question, but I did not see anything even amongst the giant really laggy gameplay that we had here. Then we move on to John Slater's boat that's going to be on Death Toll, the one that's also on The Last Stand. Now some items warp through the vehicle the moment they trigger the cutscene, but from certain angles you can see them, but it's really impossible to see it some other times. I don't see them for the ones that my friends claim. The only one that I can verify definitively, so far at least, is going to end up being the Parish helicopter. To a certain degree, if you want to be a little bit on the, I guess, more forgiving side, is going to be Jimmy Gibbs' car. And then the other ones so far have been busted because they end up making it where I can't see and I cannot tell, so I'm not comfortable labeling those specifically as confirmed. Or they warp and they don't really have a definitive result. It's not like a yes or no thing. It's it works for a second, so it's hypothetical. It's something that I'm having problems confirming because we couldn't really replicate it, if that makes any sense. Now the last thing here is going to end up being the Blood Harvest military truck. And this was one of the other few that did manage to work. You're going to see here in a second that the gnomes are flying out, and you can end up seeing Gnome Chomsky's ass hanging out for a split second, which is kind of funny. So the only ones that were definitively obvious was going to end up being the Parish helicopter and the Blood Harvest military truck, but the other ones were debatable at the very least. But we were just looking to see if it happens with any vehicle. So if I had to give this a label, I'm going to label this as confirmed. I was rotating between busted, plausible, and confirmed for this myth for the longest time because it's very hard to narrow it down because depending on how you look at it, it's a different result. Now, normally when I approach myth busting is that if any part of the myth is going to be confirmed, depending on the subject matter, if we're just trying to see if one of many things is able to do something, that I'll label as confirmed. But it is debatable because it's only 2 out of the 10 or so vehicles in the game, so you be the judge. Myth: can you give the fallen survivor items? Alrighty guys, this one is submitted in by Glabursko. Now Glabursko's myth is very problematic, let's just say the least, because when we were trying to test this, we couldn't even find a survivor for the longest time that had it where he was missing any item on his person. He would have pretty much every throwable, a med kit, and every single one of the medicines like pain pills and adrenaline, but we finally found one that was missing pain pills, so we decided to spawn some in our inventory and just bash the crap out of him and be like, boom, take this. But here's the thing, is that I don't think that the Fallen Survivor functions like the bots do on the passing campaign, so this just ended up amounting to us just beating the crap out of him and punching him up against this trash can. He was not taking our pain pills. He was just getting clotheslined, if anything. So yeah, this myth was problematic to say the least, but it was also just really hard to end up getting this thing to work even remotely. This myth was nothing but trouble, but at least now we know that this myth is definitely busted. You can't give the Fallen Survivor anything, but that does make sense. I mean, why would you want to gift it to the Fallen Survivors, being like, here, zombie, take these pain pills that will help with you being dead? Alright everybody, final myth time. Let's see if whether or not that you can kill a zombie without putting your cursor on them and looking in a completely different direction. Let's do this. Myth: can you kill a zombie without looking at them? Alrighty guys, this myth is requested by Zoe, who's going under another Breaking Bad character name, so shout out to Zoe for embracing the Breaking Bad persona of the other characters, which is epic, one of my favorite shows. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked, so for the final myth, Zoe is essentially saying that if you end up having a gun with frag rounds in it, since they end up having a splash damage ability, does that mean that if your crosshair is not lined up with a zombie, you could just end up killing them anyway? Could you shoot somewhere else and kill them regardless? Now, if you could do this, before we even test it, I just want to say is that that would be broken. If you didn't kill yourself, because I know that the splash damage could also kill you, but if you could manage to not kill yourself and kill the zombies, that would be insane. So let's end up testing this. We're going to spawn in a variety of different guns and just put frag rounds on them and spawn some common infected and just see what's what. So here we go. Let's cut to the footage now. Okay, I have a frag round shotgun, and now I'm going to have some zombies spawn here in just a second, and I'm not going to put my cursor on them. I'm not going to look at them. I'm just going to shoot the floor. Here we go. Okay, I think I killed one, but here, let's go into third person to be definitively sure. So I'm just spamming them. They're going after the guys right now, but I am managing to get some pretty decent kills. And you guys can see my cursor, even still in third person, that this is somehow to a certain degree working. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm thinking I'm getting better at this. Yeah, because like I'm just looking at the floor, and I'm managing to hit the zombies. And keep in mind is that I don't have God mode on. I know that that might be hard to believe, but I do not. I actually have no God mode on, and all I'm doing is just aiming diagonally from me and not directly underneath of me, and it's killing the zombies. I don't want to necessarily call it quite yet because like I'm looking at this from kind of like an optimistic sense, but I'm even using a machine gun here now, and even this one, which is not necessarily as strong as the shotgun per se, is still doing decently well. Here's a way I'm going to verify it. I'm going to have Dan do it too as well and see if the exact same thing happens because I want to see something here. Okay, so Dan's shooting them and you guys can see something weird is happening here. He's not looking at the zombie at all. His shoulder is next to the zombie. Okay, that one was total BS. That one shouldn't have happened. That one shouldn't have happened. Okay, that time the zombie only got stunned, but it didn't kill him. So it's not consistently going to one-shot them. You can't exactly completely turn around. It does have to be somewhat close. But it's even one-shotting Jimmy Gibbs Jr., for Christ's sake, guys. This is really impressive. I'm really liking the results we're getting here. So guys, when it comes to this myth, there's some consistency about it. You can definitely feasibly end up killing the zombies without looking at them. I mean, you can't full-on, like, 360 turn around and not hit them with your back facing to the zombies. But if you're just looking slightly to the left or right and you don't shoot yourself, you're good. So I'm willing to say pretty definitively here that in the right circumstances, this myth is confirmed. You can kill a zombie with frag rounds with the splash damage and not looking at them if you get the right angles. I think this is going to be more of like a physics thing, but it's really cool to see that this does indeed work. Let's go. So yeah guys, that is it for today's video, and I hope you guys end up enjoying seeing another episode of Mythbusting Mondays, and if you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, subscribe, follow, and all that beautiful stuff. If you guys would like to financially support the channel, I tremendously appreciate if you guys could go check out my Patreon. It's always linked down below in all my YouTube video descriptions, or you guys could use supporter creator code BlackNinja797 in all caps in the Fortnite Big Games item shops, because Epic is my very first sponsor, and they are sponsoring today's video, so shout out to Epic Games. But yeah guys, I hope you end up enjoying seeing another YouTube video from the most unique YouTubers you're ever going to see. Thanks for watching guys, I love all of you, and peace out.
Hey meme lords, Jesus here, and you better have enjoyed that video there by the eternal god Daddy Ninja. You should probably subscribe too, or the mighty Moab will come for your balls. If you enjoyed the video, you might like it too, and give me the memes. Flash, bang, boom!